behind closed doors, or hidden by a computer screen. It happens here in Green Country and around the world. The criminal could even be someone you trust. Join us now as FOX23 investigates sex trafficking, a hidden crime.
I'm Jana Clark. For more than 20 years, I've been reporting here at FOX23 News. I've told thousands of stories, and what I'm getting ready to share with you now is incredibly difficult and also close to my heart. Over the next hour, I will take you with me to the Philippines. I traveled with a group of Tulsans to help girls rescued from sex trafficking and abuse. For their safety, I can't show you their faces. I will show you how our team works to help girls move past terrible trauma and how you can get involved. But first, what sex trafficking actually looks like, how it's different here than in other countries. To get a better understanding, I talked with a nonprofit, a U.S. attorney, and a special agent, all based right here in Tulsa. It could be anyone, like a child in your neighborhood or someone who goes to your kid's school who's the victim of sex trafficking. Kristen Weiss with the Demand Project helps victims.
People using kids as a product for financial gain.
What does it look like in the Tulsa area?
The internet and smartphones has changed everything. So now a predator, he doesn't walk the streets. His new corner is the internet. So he can be on social media and be luring and grooming kids every single day.
So how does a 12-year-old girl find herself on the internet and then end up getting trafficked?
If a person is chatting with a young girl, they're gonna find ways to compliment them, maybe even give them gifts, slowly lowering their boundaries.
Sex trafficking and human trafficking in Oklahoma is a hidden crime. The means and methods are often driven by social media. Instant messaging, Snapchat, Instagram.
U.S. Attorney Clint Johnson works to prosecute sex trafficking cases. He says his office's priority is always the child victim, who's typically groomed or tricked by the trafficker.
They tend to be vulnerable, poor, lacking a stable home life. Individuals will prey on those individuals, give them what they want, whether it's love, attention, affection, and then work them into the sex trafficking business.
Clint says anyone can be a trafficker.
There is really no profile for a trafficker.
We have seen doctors and lawyers and CEOs of companies, teachers, coaches, pediatricians.
Trafficking here doesn't always look the same as in other countries, like the Philippines. There, kids are often sold by their own parents to be exploited online.
That's what we've seen a lot of in the Philippines is family members would exploit their own children.
John Reynosa is a special agent with Homeland Security.
And the kids are terrified. They want their parents. But their parents are the ones doing this to them.
Right.
So it's like, who do you turn to?
That would be hard for a parent here to understand. How could something like that happen?
I wouldn't understand because I would never make that decision for my child.
I know there's severe poverty in the country.
1/4 of the country is faced with not knowing, where they're going to get their next meal. Something like that, extreme poverty could lead to these decisions that one can't even fathom to make.
How often is it these predators are Americans?
Sadly, from what we've seen, a large majority from the investigations that we've had, it's majority United States citizens.
Why are so many Americans?
So in the Philippines, the internet is free and widely available, so it allows individuals from the Philippines to connect with people from all over the world. Their primary language is English. 1, 2, 3. I think that the money service businesses that are established here are also established in the Philippines. I think the traffickers may look for people in the United States to be friends on social media.
Does a lot of the trafficking happen online?
That's where they meet at first.
At some point, predators may want to meet in person. Traffickers set that up.
The person from the United States will fly over to the Philippines, get the information of where they're supposed to meet, tell the traffickers to meet them, and that's where they'll exchange the money for the sexual acts.
And that's called sex tourism, right?
Correct. It's heartbreaking, but it's very rewarding to put bad people away and they don't have access to kids anymore. But it really really is a terrible type of investigation because you see the worst of humanity.
John says a program started in 2016 called Angel Watch to combat sex tourism by targeting sex offenders traveling overseas.
We will notify that country of their travel plans and their itinerary, and they do with the information. It could be anything from, nothing to not allowing them to enter their country.
There wouldn't be a crime if there weren't a demand.
Exactly right. It's a sad commentary on our society, but there has been and continues to be a demand for individuals to have sexual relations with minors. And they're the most vulnerable members of our society. And I think we have an obligation to try to protect those individuals as best we can.
Here in Green Country, we have one of the largest campuses for girls who are sexual assault survivors. The campus opened in 2013 and has helped hundreds of girls escape sex trafficking. I got an inside look at the Demand Project. 10 girls live at this campus. I can't tell you where it is for the girls' safety. Kristen Weiss is the co-founder and CEO.
I heard a story about a little girl, 2 years old. Her dad sexually assaulted her. He videotaped the assault, and then he put it online for people to watch, and thousands logged on.
She says it was after hearing that story, she and her husband knew they had to do something, and they started the Demand Project.
We had a normal life prior to that. And when we heard that story, it shifted everything for us.
Now, girls rescued from sex trafficking live on these 54 acres of refuge. Plenty of space to get outside, exercise, and play sports. There's a crisis center, school, and homes where each girl has a room to call her own. The girls follow a regular schedule, go to school, do chores, and fun activities like artwork and learning to crochet. The girls ages 11 to 17 are safe here and trying to deal with their past. Most of the time, the crimes against them started with a predator, a trafficker, seeking them out on the internet. So how does a 12-year-old girl find herself on the internet and then end up getting trafficked?
You see all the social media sites where kids have TikToks. They have Instagram and they have Snapchat and they have all these other apps on their phones where they're talking to people. It's a predator's playground. There's a lot of luring and grooming, and it takes a lot of patience and time, and they have it. The communication apps are the hardest ones. That's where parents really have to be wise in checking their phones. Like, who are their friends online and what are they saying back and forth? Do they have apps that you don't know about?
It's not just an online crime. Here's what happened to one of the girls at a Tulsa high school.
She met a guy and he was building a crew of young girls out of the school. He was a senior, 19 years old, staying in school to build his group of kids. He had an apartment and a bar downtown Tulsa where he would bring the kids to sell them. So they would go to school in the day, they would be sold in the late afternoon, evening, and then they would go home.
These kids have dealt with trauma. I can imagine it's incredibly difficult.
Yes, oh my goodness. The unwinding, the undoing of trauma is huge. What we have to do every single day to help these kids is unbelievable.
It's a 2-year program. Kristen says 6 months in, things get real.
Now they're starting to show the trauma. We're starting to get down to the truth of what's happened. We do individual therapy, group therapy, family therapy, and equine therapy, and art therapy, and music therapy. Like, there's not enough therapy for these kids with everything that they've gone through.
Kristen says the goal is to restore the girls.
You're taking them back to a place where they're healthy again, where they can have a good life again.
What is your hope for these girls?
My hope, I don't want us to force our expectations on kids that have only had expectations. We can only plant the seeds, and then from there, it's their choices that determine what their future is going to be.
Trafficking happens here and abroad. I just went with a team of Tulsans to help girls at a similar campus, but it's halfway across the world in the Philippines. Getting ready for that journey wasn't easy. I'll show you all of it after this break. Welcome back to Fox 23's investigative special, Sex Trafficking, a Hidden Crime. 3 years ago, I told you I went to the Philippines with a team from my church on a mission trip. I didn't know what to expect. The plan for a team of Tulsans to help girls who were abused and sex trafficked. That has stuck with me ever since. For several years, the church wasn't able to send another team because of the pandemic. But now a new group headed back to help those girls, and this was my chance to see them again. Now, I want you to meet the new team. I'll show you what we did to get ready for our mission. Packing bags, getting ready to go.
We're over 2 tents.
It's a team from Tulsa's First Baptist Church in downtown Tulsa.
My name is Mike Hart, and I'm taking a team of 10 to the Philippines to work at a girls' home.
Why do you think it's important to take a team of people here?
These girls need attention, they need love, they need to know that someone cares for them.
I'm Loretta Scheidler.
You've been before?
Yes, I went 3 years ago. It was really a life-changing experience to work with those little girls.
And what was life-changing about it?
Just to experience the change in their life in even a week.
3 years ago, more than 20 girls lived in the home, a village in the Philippines for girls rescued from sex trafficking and abuse. Now, more than 50 girls live in the home.
My name is Sandy Clark, and this will be my 3rd trip to the Philippines.
Sandy is also my mom.
I'm excited that you're going.
I'm excited you're going too.
I love it when we pull in and they all run out to greet us.
Why do you think it means so much to them that we come from Tulsa to see them?
It shows our love for them, and it's probably very encouraging to them to know that somebody cares.
My name is Carol Berger, and I have been to the Philippines one time. I go back to be with the girls, to hopefully show them a little bit of Jesus through me. They have been through more than we can imagine at their young ages, and it's heart-wrenching.
My name is Madison Hart. I've been to the Philippines 2 times. They're all always smiling and like joyful, but like it is hard to think about all the things that they've seen and what they've been through.
My name is Steve Jordan, and I've been to the Philippines 1 time.
And what was it like?
It was hot, but it was amazing. It was just it was a trip that I didn't know what to expect, but it was nothing like I was expecting, if that makes sense.
Tim Berger. I've been 6 or 7 times. I'm not real sure.
Too many to count.
A lot.
What keeps you coming back?
But it's just the kids. I feel like as a man we have a lot of influence. If you think about it, every man in their life has betrayed them. So if they can be around a man that, you know, goofs off with them and plays with them and makes fun of them in a good way, I think that's good.
To have a positive experience with a male.
Positive experience with a man, that's right. Well put.
For 2 of the team members, this will be a new experience.
My name is Jackie Wagner, and I'm going to the Philippines for the very first time.
I'm Karen Betts, and I'm excited to be going to the Philippines for the first time.
What made you decide to go?
It just sounds like a fantastic place to go to be able to serve. Just to be around those girls and to try to make a positive difference in their lives.
What do you think about this group going?
I have a great group going. There's a lot of mom and grandma figures going that will do really well. I have guys going that know what they're doing for the projects, so I'm excited about this team.
Every group that goes on a mission trip is a great group because it's who God has put together.
Before we started this journey, every one of us went through this online training, a kind of do's and don'ts when it comes to helping girls who survived unimaginable trauma. What is your hope for this trip?
Oh, that God will just be honored. The girls will be full of joy, peace, and happiness.
My hope and my prayer is that in some way the girls will be loved, the girls will know they're loved, and that they will know that God loves them.
In all, we packed 10 big suitcases, 1 for each of us to check at the airport. Inside, all things for the girls, like art supplies, and vitamins, and sports equipment. And we prayed for the girls. Just after 3 a.m., we checked our bags at the airport, and then we hopped on our plane for a very long flight. We made it.
We made it.
After more than 20 hours of flying, our team from Tulsa's First Baptist Church made it to the Philippines. It's one of the most dangerous countries for journalists, so I had to keep a low profile. I took a phone and a GoPro to capture these stories. Now, let's meet the girls who live in a home called the Butterfly Project. The morning after our team landed, we showed up at this church. The same church the girls attend. After the service, we reunited with girls we met on past trips and saw new faces too. Then we drove to the girls' home, known as the Village.
They are so happy for us to be here. They grab you and they hug you and they love you.
You're not sad anymore, are you? When I was here a few years ago, 25 girls lived here. Now it's more than doubled to 54 girls.
This is a known destination for sexual predators. They schedule vacations and they come here.
Many of the perpetrators come from the United States, and that breaks my heart.
Mike Hart helped open the Village 10 years ago to rescue girls from sex trafficking and abuse.
Every kid that we took had this terrible story, and each one was worse than the one before.
Assistant Director Mary Ann Nerval says because poverty is the #1 problem in the Philippines, the girls' own parents are often the ones to sell their kids online.
For them, it seems that it's okay as long as they earn money that they could feed for their family.
She says that makes the girls feel worthless.
They would often say, like, my family does not love me, so I would rather die.
They need genuine love.
They need to know somebody loves them, and I try to express that to every one of them.
They all need love. They all need encouragement.
Despite what they have been through, we wanted them to feel that they are loved, they are valued, they are important, and they are our family.
The program's called the Butterfly Project, based on this Bible verse painted on the wall inside the home.
The Bible verse is like transforming. From the cocoon, we wanted them to be transformed into beautiful butterflies.
Caregivers tend to all their needs, cook all their meals, and work on the girls' individual cases.
The staff is just amazing. I mean, they literally give of themselves emotionally, physically.
They're just incredible women working with these children.
The girls help by doing chores. They wash their own clothes. No washing machines, it's all done by hand. They share bedrooms, sometimes 6 to a room. Here, they're safe. High walls surround the village with barbed wire across the top.
Because some of the perpetrators were trying to get in and get to the girls.
This is home for them, and it's really important for them to just have a place to feel safe.
Some girls here are as young as 4.
One of the girls was talking about her fear of the dark, because it was always in the dark that perpetrator came to her.
They've been through a lot of trauma that they did not ask for.
Our team's plan to make things better for the girls. We painted their tables bright colors.
To help make the place look better, cheerier.
We helped cook and serve meals.
Thank you. You're welcome.
At mealtime, the girls packed those tables full. We repaired walls and repainted them. We fixed playground equipment like this merry-go-round. Made new seats for the teeter-totter, put up new swings, and built new monkey bars.
If it's broke, it's broke. They don't have money to fix it. So if we can fix their swings and it'll last a year or 6 months, then that's 6 months or a year that they have.
The team was great. They jumped in and they physically did the work that needed done.
I love the team. We all have our talents and abilities, and it all works together.
We stopped working when the girls came home from school and spent time with them. We did crafts.
They are so creative. It's amazing.
We played board games and card games like Uno.
They love to play games.
We played frisbee and basketball. And I taught the girls how to play softball.
They ask us all the time if we can play softball.
That just releases so much of that pressure and those things that they've dealt with.
You know what? They all need us. I just wanted to show them that we really care.
Every evening we did devotion time with the girls.
Spiritually, they're being fed every day.
They can go to God and give them their fears and their angers, and God will take those on for them.
One of the girls' biggest fears is going to court to testify.
They would say, Mommy, I'm scared. I don't want to do it. I can't do it.
A lot of fear. I mean, all that comes back because you have to talk about it in front of the judge right next to the person who did it to you.
I remember one time when I took a girl to the court date, the only open seat was right next to the boy that had raped her. And so I sat between her and her perpetrator.
While we were there, a couple girls had to go to court.
Had a little girl tell me yesterday that her mother hates her because of her court case, and she was very sad about that.
She was going to be facing her mom, who she said was her enemy. That was just heartbreaking for me.
My first reaction is anger. I want justice for these girls.
By the end of the week, it was clear how crucial the Butterfly Project is for these girls.
It gives these girls a chance for a future and a hope that they couldn't have otherwise.
Left out in the world, who's going to protect them or who's going to save them? They're just another statistic.
This place is really special, and I know that God's working here.
How can they love when the world has been so cruel to them? And they do. It's incredible.
On the last day, we stayed as long as we could until it was dark. It's hard to say goodbye.
Mommy! I miss you. Love you too. They cry and they hang on to you and they don't want to turn loose. And they tell you how much they love you and how much they'll miss you.
When we leave, there are many tears. It's very heart-wrenching to leave. Bye-bye! You can't get it off your heart. Once you meet them, you don't forget them.
Bye, Mommy Jen. I love you. We'll miss you. Come back again. Bye, Mom.
I really miss those girls. When I spent time with the girls, the village was maxed out. They couldn't take any more girls. They had the space, but not one important thing. Coming up after the break, how you helped make it possible for the Butterfly Project to save even more girls. Welcome back to the 1-hour investigative special, Sex Trafficking, a Hidden Crime. When I first told you about the girls in the Philippines, many of you asked how you can help. Now I get to tell you how you've come through in a big way. It's the reason even more girls will now have a safe place to live. I showed you how I took a trek halfway around the world with a team from Tulsa's First Baptist Church. We came to spend time with 54 girls. They live in this village in the Philippines.
First impression when all the girls got there was just how many girls there were. It was really overwhelming. You see the girls, they're happy. They're happy to see you, and you can tell this is a good place for them and that they feel safe here.
Girls rescued from sex trafficking and abuse come to live at this home. Teenage girls and younger.
You just want to take them home. I mean, there's a 4-year-old here that just breaks my heart. Yeah. She's so precious.
The nonprofit First Love International runs this program called the Butterfly Project.
Financial help is a big one too for this project. They ask for donations all the time.
The program covers the cost of everything the girls need: food, clothing, education. The Tulsa team had packed suitcases full of donated items.
We always bring suitcases full of items that they need and want. They want them, but they need them.
Things like markers, coloring books, socks, vitamins, and lice treatment.
It's a big help to them to have those things. And, you know, we get to be here and see them get to use those things.
They're very limited on their funds here, and really a nice, clean, painted wall isn't the top priority. It's food and shelter and curriculum.
The team worked to fix up the home. We painted the girls' tables. We fixed walls, then repainted them. We built and repaired playground equipment too. When I was in the Philippines, the assistant director, Mary Ann Nerval, told me the girls' home is maxed out at 54 girls. The reason? The home needed a sprinkler system.
They do not have a fire system, water sprinkler system in the building, and they are under time restraints to get that in.
The deadline, June, and they had already been granted one extension.
So the odds of them getting another extension are very, very slim, and they still have a significant amount of money to raise for that project. So that is a primary financial and safety concern for them right now.
The needed sprinkler system cost about $30,000. A few weeks after my story started airing, I saw this email from the director of the Butterfly Project with the big news that enough donations had just come in. She said, "I am continually blown away by your generosity. Thank you." She sent these photos and said, "Check out some of the new sprinkler system work going on now."
Finally, we were able to reach our target.
Marianne sent me this video message about it.
This is very meaningful to us, and this will help us to accommodate new rescued girls to find healing and recovery into our home. Again, thank you so much for supporting the Butterfly Project. God bless you.
Once the system is ready to go, the home is big enough for more girls to move in.
I think it's really cool that they have like the capacity to help so many girls.
Like, how important is this program?
It's extremely important. It's like it's their only hope, because left out in the world, who's going to protect them or who's going to save them? They're just another statistic, and nobody cares. I hate to say that. There are cares because they're here. That's who cares. But in the world, and if there's not organizations like this, they have no hope.
I think we all hope that they can be able to just put the bad things that have happened to them in the past and just thrive.
After spending time with them, it's clear to me these girls just want opportunities to grow, learn, and they're incredibly grateful for every single thing. Marianne told me with the new sprinkler system in place, the Butterfly Project plans to add more girls and can hopefully do that within the year. If you'd like to help, the nonprofit that runs the Butterfly Project is called First Love International. For more info, go to fox23.com and look for this special.
Even now, I feel like my past still haunting me.
A childhood filled with emotional and physical scars. Coming up after the break, you'll hear from a young woman at the Butterfly Project about the horrors she had to go through and the new life the village gave her. Welcome back to Fox 23's Sex Trafficking, a Hidden Crime. You've joined me on a trip to the Philippines. We've taken a look at the village that's home to girls who've survived sex trafficking and abuse. They have to stay behind these high walls for their protection. So far, I haven't been able to show you their faces or tell you their names, but you can see this young lady because she's older than 18. Her name is Cyril. She opened up to me about the reason she's at the girls' home and her life now. Cyril Blanco just got home from school and the market. She's prepping food she'll cook later.
I need to clean it and put it in the refrigerator.
Cyril was 15 when she came to live at this girls' home called The Village.
Actually, when I first came here, I thought it was a, palace.
The nonprofit First Love International runs this program, the Butterfly Project.
When I entered the house, I saw a lot of girls, and I feel nervous. 54
girls rescued from sex trafficking and abuse live at the village. They go to school and church, eat 3 meals a day, and get plenty of time to go outside and play.
I actually like the place, the merry-go-round there, because I can see the mountain. Yeah, and sometimes I used to paint the mountain. I try to paint it.
Here at the village, surrounded by high walls with barbed wire across the top, the girls are safe. But Cyril says she didn't feel safe at first.
Because whenever I hear the trikes, I got so nervous because I remember my father, because he used to have a tricycle, and whenever I heard it, I got panic attack and I couldn't sleep every night.
So when you heard that trike, what did you think?
I just think that my dad is here and I don't want to go home.
Cyril's afraid of her dad because he sexually abused her.
I don't like when that light is off.
It's why now, 7 years later, she still sleeps with lights on around her bed.
Even now, I feel like my past still haunting me.
Cyril says when she came to the girls' home, she had fallen way behind in school.
When I came here, I didn't know anything. Like, I don't even speak English, I don't even understand English, or even solve math. But thanks God, because I learned a lot here.
Cyril had to go to court many times to testify against her dad. She says it was incredibly difficult.
Yeah, because I love him. I also care for him. And it's hard for me to see him has, what is that thing?
Handcuffs?
Yeah. It hurts me.
She said the courtroom was full of her dad's relatives there to support him.
I was shaking that time. I don't know what to do. And it's really hard for me. But I try my best. While I'm doing that, I recite in my head the verse of Exodus 14:14. Yeah, the Lord will fight for you, you need to be still. And yeah, I did it.
Cyril's dad's in prison now, and she's trying to find a way to forgive him.
Whenever I remember what he did to me, it's still like fresh. But still, I wanna forgive him.
Cyril says she's often prayed that a family would adopt her.
I always pray every night.
Cyril thought her prayers were answered when a family did adopt her in 2020.
And I was so happy and excited because I've been praying to God for 4 years. I want to be with the family. I want to experience the love from the father and mother.
But that home wasn't safe for Cyril. You can see what happened in this photo. Her adopted sister badly burned Cyril's face when they were grilling out.
She put something like, I don't know what is that liquid, and the charcoal become like whoosh. Then my face got burned. All of my face is burned, and even my hair.
Cyril got medical help, and eventually the scars on her face faded away.
My face is actually like nothing happened, and I'm so thankful to God about that.
After only 2 months with that family, Cyril came back to the Butterfly Project to be safe.
So I'm so ashamed to come back here because I was wrong. I made the wrong decision. That's why when I came back here, I'm really trying my best to be good at school. But yeah, it's still painful.
Cyril is one of 4 young women who are over 18 but still live at the village. They stay in this small white cottage that's next to the girls' home. They're learning to be independent, how to balance going to school, work, and how to budget their money.
I have to wake up early for school and to wait for the transportation.
Cyril says she encourages the younger girls at the Butterfly Project.
Yeah, it's really important. That's why I always told them to be grateful for what they have. There's a lot of opportunity here. Like they can study, they can have a safe house.
Now Cyril's finishing her senior high studies and will graduate in May.
I'm gonna cry after I graduate because I remember when I was a kid, my stepmom always said that I'm a stupid person, and like my father's side, they always put me down. Yeah, and I grown up with that words like I'm stupid. And what is that, slut? They call me slut also.
Cyril's proving her family wrong. You can see by her report card she'll graduate with honors. Next, she wants to go to college and possibly study nursing.
And I want to be also a teacher and a missionary. I have a lot of things that I want.
Cyril says none of it would have been possible without the Butterfly Project.
I don't want to remember my childhood. My life before is really different now. That's why I'm really grateful.
There's no middle class. There's the wealthy and then there's poor.
A prevalent problem. After this break, I'll take you through the neighborhood that surrounds the Butterfly Project and show you the reason that forces parents to do the unthinkable. Welcome back to Fox 23's hour-long investigative special, Sex Trafficking, a Hidden Crime. You've come along with me on my mission trip to the Philippines. I went with a group of Tulsans from First Baptist Church to help girls who survived sex trafficking and abuse. One reason sex trafficking happens so much in the Philippines is poverty. Families often struggle to find their next meal. It's that kind of desperation that forces some parents into an unimaginable decision, whether to sell their own children into trafficking. Now I'm going to walk you through a local neighborhood to give you an idea of what these families face. 54 girls rescued from sex trafficking and abuse live at this village in the Philippines. I came here on a mission trip with a team from Tulsa's First Baptist Church to help these girls. Here, they have a safe place to sleep and 3 meals a day.
Thank you. You're welcome.
They go to school, church, and have time to play and just be kids. But outside these walls, it can be tough for families to survive. Like for the village custodian, Turing. He's worked here for the past 10 years. From the girls' village gate, we walked about 5 minutes down this road, carrying groceries to bring to Turing's family. It started raining before we stepped through the entrance of his neighborhood. That's when we saw firsthand how many families here live.
It's really hard to believe that people live like this.
There is a ton of poverty. There's no middle class. There's the wealthy and then there's poor.
Turing's home's on the side of a mountain, so it was an uphill hike up a ton of stairs, some made out of tires.
That was hard getting up there, and to think of them doing that every day, up and down, carrying stuff.
When you're walking up there, there's water, sewer, I don't know, running down through there.
All the sewage probably goes into that too. That's where they do their laundry.
There's chickens wild everywhere. There's clothes hanging out all around. It's a culture shock.
That's just pure poverty up there.
It was worse than I thought it was going to be. The poverty was just kind of overwhelming.
This is a typical neighborhood. The people who live here work in this area. This isn't just a place to camp. This is home, where people raise their families.
Layer upon layer of people, yeah, houses on top of, just as you go up the hill, they just add on.
Families make shelter out of whatever they can find, scraps, things Americans would trash.
It takes years sometimes to build a house.
And that was one of the things that really struck me, is the resilience of people, and that they find whatever resources they have and they make it work for them.
Mike Hart, who helped start the girls' home, said when Turing first started working there, he found out Turing, his wife, and 5 kids were living under a tarp.
He was living here in a ravine under terrible conditions.
Mike says he took one of Turing's youngest children to a medical clinic. She was extremely malnourished, and rats had been chewing on her toes at night.
This is Turing's house.
With $2,000 donated dollars, a team built this house for Turing and his family. It's made of cinder blocks, each one hand-carried up the side of the mountain.
Getting the materials up here was very difficult.
Now it's one of the nicest homes up here.
I think they were proud of that house, and they all seemed very happy.
May I get a picture of your family?
Before we left, Turing and his family stood and smiled for a family photo.
He's a good man. He's a good man, good family.
You have a beautiful family. We said our goodbyes.
Goodbye, Turing. See ya.
Bye, Turing. And headed back down the mountain. Between the sounds of noisy roosters and dogs barking, I heard this. I wanted to know where the music was coming from. It was up here, and that's where I found her. A girl wearing a t-shirt and pajama pants singing karaoke while her mom braided her hair. The girl told me her name is Yumi. On the side of a mountain in the Philippines, in the middle of all that poverty, a girl with hopes and dreams, like we all have. These girls suffered through horrific abuse, but they are still just kids who love to play and have fun. Here's a look at some video I've never shown you before. It's some of the lighter moments from my trip to the Philippines.
I was being interviewed and you just interrupted it. Back.
Was that Helen?
That was not important.
We'll make some memories.
We will do that.
And hopefully sleep on the plane. I won't watch you sleep this time. I'll sleep too.
You won't listen to me snore.
That too.
She recorded me snoring.
I did.
That was rude.
What do you think about this group of people going?
B team. B team.
Well, it would take me out of it, then what?
C team, maybe.
Well, I thought it was going to go up if you took me out.
No, I don't think.
You're going to be out there playing around on the playground, and I'm going to have to work.
What are you going to do?
Work!
You've never worked. Don't Audience, she doesn't do jack over
Did you
there.
just say audience?
Yeah, whoever you're talking to. Who are you talking to?
This, actually, you're not going to get used at all. The whole thing is going to be deleted.
I will. You know, I should get used.
Okay.
I don't know why I wouldn't.
We just landed in Seoul. See, where are we?
We're in the airport.
Where in the world? Where in the world are we?
We're in the Philippines.
We joined the ano.
Is that hard for you?
It is, apparently.
Hello. Yes, I think. Dahil sinusundan ka ng camera.
Somebody get this.
You need help?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, it's gooey.
Sandy, we're missing
Jackie and
It's like chicken. Travel.
I'm not moving my foot.
I don't know what that is.
What's it taste like?
Like a crayon.
times.
I try to focus on, hey there.
I forgot what I was going to say. So for me, it was, I was really nervous that time. My hands are shaking. I can't even talk really straight.
After the break, I want you to meet a young lady who graduated from the Butterfly Project. She was incredibly brave as she told me what it took to transform her life. We've reached the end of our investigative special. We've explored how sex trafficking looks different in different countries. We've toured a girls' home that helps them escape from abuse in Tulsa. And we went with a group of Tulsans to the Philippines to help a program called the Butterfly Project. But before we go, I want you to meet a girl who graduated from that program. She'll tell us how it transformed her life. After a couple years...
Knock, knock.
Nobody?
I don't know.
Jasmine Jumadi's back at the girls' home. First, a reunion with a close friend. What's it like to come back?
Oh, it was like going home. Yeah, because I really miss this place.
Then hugs from women who used to take care of her.
Thank you, son. It's been 3 years, right? I think.
When Jasmine was 16, she came to live at this home that everyone calls the Village. What did you think about this place?
Oh, I thought it was an orphanage run by the nuns, like a Catholic institution or something, because I was hearing a rumor outside that I was going to an orphanage.
It's actually a program called the Butterfly Project for girls ages 4 to 17. Girls come to live here after they're rescued from sex trafficking and abuse.
I was actually sexually abused. I was molested for 3 years, almost 3 years by my stepfather. That's why it's not really safe at home. We tried to convict him, but my mother bailed him out. My mother didn't believe me. She went on his side.
Over the years, Jasmine struggled with going to court again and again to testify against her stepfather.
My case is ongoing.
Still now?
Yeah, still. The case was moving so slow. That's why it's really hard for me also to move on.
Jasmine just found out she's supposed to go to another hearing next month. She's already getting scared.
Oh, that was terrifying. Yeah, because that was really hard time because I had to control my emotion. I barely look at him. I'm not even looking at him while I'm testifying. So for me, it was, I was really nervous that time. My hands are shaking. I can't even talk really straight. So that was traumatizing. I don't want to see him actually. That's why I'm thinking if if I'm still going to court next time. I don't know.
Jasmine says when she came here to live with these girls, she immediately felt safe.
I was actually happy, when I went here for the first time.
It took a bit for Jasmine to adjust to the rigorous schedule, schoolwork, meal times, chores. As an older girl, she helped take care of the younger ones. She says the girls quickly felt like family.
We were able to get close at a short time because they were nice. They're great friends and sisters, actually.
Here, Jasmine says she found her faith.
I accepted God as my personal Savior and my Lord, and then my spiritual health is going deeper.
Jasmine says she leaned on her faith when she was angry at her mom for standing by the stepfather.
As time passed by, I was trying to understand her, but I really don't until now. But I forgive her.
What about him?
If I see him now, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm trying to forgive him. For me also. For my health, for my mental health.
Jasmine graduated from high school. She stayed in the program for girls over 18. She could go to college, work, and learn skills to live on her own, like how to budget money for groceries and how to commute.
I almost went to class late because I get lost many times. But yeah, it's part of life.
Did that help you transition into being on your own?
Yeah, that's when I built my confidence to live independently. That's why I'm here now.
Jasmine finished 2 years of college, then decided to go out on her own. She teamed up with business partners to work for this online company and lives with roommates to share expenses.
I'm also earning and providing for my needs.
Jasmine lives about an hour from the village.
It's good. It's actually helping me a lot because it really unleashed my potential. In terms of maturity, I've grown spiritually and socially, emotionally also.
Jasmine says what she learned at the Butterfly Project gave her everything she needs to spread her wings.
It's so important because it helps, it gives hopes to the children like me, because when I was outside, I was literally scared because I don't know what my life is going to be. And then this institution really gave me hope and then a future.
She wants that same future for all the girls in the Butterfly Project.
Because this is a really good place for them.
Stories like Jasmine's have stuck with me since I've come home, and I hope they stick with you too. These girls escaped sex trafficking and abuse, but so many girls here and across the world suffer in silence. People are working with organizations like the Butterfly Project and the Demand Project to bring these girls out of the darkness. If you would like to help, go to FOX23.com and look for this special. Covering news that matters, I'm Jana Clark, Fox 23 News.